think the freedom that we had in the school of learning, taking part in sports, and the general atmosphere was very comfortable to be. I mean, I used to reach the school 1 hour before it opened, 9 o'clock, and start playing games, table tennis or some other, or pittu, as children used to play. And later on in the evening, we used to play hockey in the school grounds. And the teaching was good. We all enjoyed it. I mean, at least I quite enjoyed my school. So I think the school gave you a lot of things to remember by, which stood fast in your later life. Decided to join English Honours in the college. College was beautiful. I really enjoyed my stay there. Right in the very first year, I started participating in extracurricular activities in the college parliament, debating, and also joined the college cricket team. And in the second year, I did exceptionally well in cricket for my college. I became a cricket hero. I was, I think, 6th in the list to get into the IAS. And thereafter, the journey started in the IAS. Doing a collector's job is something which I can never forget. And I think that was the best part of my service. My first district was a place called Banda. You couldn't reach Banda by road. The river Jamna flowed on one side and another river flowed on the other side. From there on, I went out to become in the industries department of the state. We had stayed for 2-3 years, and then moved into the secretariat in the finance department. And I brought about a lot of innovations. I think for the first time in the country, I did computerization of my state accounts. And within every week of the first month, we had the complete accounts of the state. Well, then I moved out to Delhi. I came here at the Ministry of Petroleum, and then went back to my state UP and worked as Agriculture Production Commissioner. After about 3 years, the government thought I would fit enough to become the Chief Secretary of the state, which is the highest bureaucratic job that you have. For a couple of years I worked there. After that, I did a stint in Ministry of Urban Development and also as Secretary Information and Broadcasting. But it was very interesting, and I set up the first 5 satellites in India. It was a wonderful experience because suddenly we were communicating with the rest of the world. We were able to transmit to UK and to other parts neighboring wherever Indians are living. Then I retired in '93. And I've since then been working as various companies as independent director, participating in sports. I love golf. I've been playing golf. Been president of Delhi Golf Club twice. And well, right today, that's what I'm doing. So something which came into this school was instilled into my mind was discipline. The other thing was punctuality. You have to be present in your class punctually. If one delay, you stand outside. So everybody came punctually. The third thing was, I think, the respect which we were asked to give to teachers. The next thing was that the teachers who taught us, I think, did it very affectionately. Our mathematics teacher was something which was a remarkable person, one Mr. Jain. He taught us mathematics as if he was teaching some ordinary thing. We had similar other teachers. One of the teachers who looked after the library, she encouraged me to read books. I must have read 300-400 fictions. Every day I used to borrow one book, read it, and come back and ask for another one. So it gave me the love for reading, which stood me in good stead. I could read and you could shout, it made no difference to me. My concentration was really increased as a result of this. And I think all these things helped me in my career. We are allowed to play sports in the school, freely all kinds of sports we played. Right, as I told you the other day, from Kanchati to playing cricket, hockey. And the sporting habit which I got in the school, I carried to my service also. I built 35 stadiums in the state. I built a sports college, the first sports college in the country. I built several sports complexes where badminton, volleyball, table tennis, all could be played together. So I did a lot of contribution to sports. Yes, in our school, we were made to write between lines, as a result of which your handwriting became very straight and very forward. And it stood good role because in examinations, when an examiner finds a handwriting which you can read immediately without difficulty, he gives you good marks. In the school, it was compulsory right from the day one to speak in English. So we were made to communicate. Every other day, there was a debating going on in the school, or we had to speak on a subject. Then something else which I think was very important in the school which I learned, and that was précis writing. They gave us a long story and he said, now bring it down to 20 lines, bring it down to 30 lines. So that involves a lot of participation, understanding the subject, so that you can bring the best out of what you have done. In the school, my focus initially was on sports. I used to love all kinds of sports, including kite flying and whatnot. I had a friend called Rajendra Mohan Puri, who was my constant opposition in the table tennis. I always managed to beat him, and I used to come first and he used to come second in the tournament. But we were great friends. Well, there were two places that I really loved. Of course, one was the ground where we played sports. The other was the rooftop, which was prohibited, but we all went up and had big fights. It was the place where all the boys who wanted to fight would go up. And it was very enjoyable. I mean, some of the chaps I fought later on became very good friends with me. And the other place, of course, like everybody else, was the school canteen, where we got delicious food at very small price. I think we got a sandwich for about 1 anna and a cup of tea for about 4 paisa or something like that. But it was a place where we all went because the canteen wala was very, very nice to all of us. And of course, the place I loved most was the school library. I would go and sit there whenever I had time and pick out a book and read. And the library was pretty good by school standards, I would say. They had almost about 400-500 books. I would say that I was well looked after both in the school and in the college. I got courtesy from my seniors. I got affection from my teachers. The things with the school is to initiate good qualities in you. And the qualities which later on stand well in your time, I think are discipline, punctuality, respect to your elders, and never stop learning. Come to the school, enjoy yourself, laugh at yourself, and make others laugh with you, so that when you go back, you always have a good memory of the time you have spent in the school.